Okay, so in the studio is Miss Shatonia McCarty. She's with the LSU AgCenter, and she's going to tell us what to eat, what not to eat, and more so what not to eat. So the holiday seasons are coming up. Mm-hmm. You know, we're talking rice dressing, we're talking cornbread dressing, my ultimate favorite. We're talking pies, we're talking cookies, we're talking cakes.
I can tell you this. Research has shown that for every holiday season, we gain at least 5 pounds.
I believe it.
At least 5 pounds.
Because we eat, we sit down, we go back and eat, we sit down, and we go back and eat again. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And that's not good.
It's not. The key is to make sure that you stay within your portions. It's okay to indulge, in your favorites, because we know it's the holiday season. It's okay to indulge. Make sure you maintain your portion sizes. Make sure you stay with exercising. Exercising is the key.
Right. So if you exercise at Ward 3 and all of that.
That's right.
Y'all look for me because I'm going to be eating.
A good tip, if you know you're going to a family gathering, try to go do at least 30 minutes of exercise before you go. Or eat a healthy snack at home. So you won't be so you can kind of be a little full, so whenever you go there, you won't overeat. Another thing with your desserts, a lot of times during the holidays we make a lot of desserts. Maybe at least one of your desserts, try and make it a little low fat. Substitute, instead of using butter, use applesauce. Applesauce is a good substitution to keep that moisture in, like with cakes. With pies, instead of using a lot of sugar, whenever we make the apple pies, cherry pies, instead of using a lot of sugar, cut the sugar in half. You can add, sugar substitute. Splenda, it's a good sugar substitute. I know I'm not trying to promote Splenda.
Right.
But, that's one way of cutting the sugar in half.
But I thought artificial sweeteners were not good for you at all.
A lot of people ask that question, but you have to consume a lot of artificial sugars.
Okay.
You have
like
to consume
every day.
Yes, every day. And every day, I know we don't consume a lot. When I tell you a lot, I'm talking about
a lot.
A lot, yes. Also, turkey. I know, during the holiday season, we like to eat turkey. That's the specialty. Turkey, pork roast, beef roast, trim the fat. With the turkey, try to choose your white part of the meat. Your pork roast, trim the fat before you even cook it, because a lot of times with the pork roast, we have a lot of fat on the pork roast. Also, your gravy, trim the fat off from the gravy.
Oh, okay, yes, right.
Before you're serving it, skim that fat off.
I heard that pork loin is better.
Yes, pork loin
than the
is
pork
more
roast.
lean. Anything that
pork
says
roast, if I can say it.
Loin or round, that's going to be your leaner part.
Okay.
Your leaner part of the meat. Also, I know it's not normal to tradition to, with your fish. You can add fish. If you want to really go lean, do some salmon, do some tilapia around, the holiday time, and, you can stuff it. A good stuffing, I know, sometimes we stuff turkey. Instead of using your white bread, you can use the wheat bread to make your own stuffing. Or you can use wild rice to stuff your turkey. Instead of using the white rice, use wild rice. And that's, giving you the fiber, adding bulk to your diet, adding bulk to your meals, and it makes you full faster. Also, before you eat, drink a full glass of water. Drink a full glass of water, so that way you can feel the fullness and you won't, overeat whenever you do eat. The next thing, your plate size. Use a smaller plate. Don't use a big plate. A lot of times, we tend to buy the big plates so we can put your yams, your
gotta have all the sides.
Yes,
gotta have them
everything
green bean
on
casserole, and
That's right. So use a smaller plate. That way, whenever you use a smaller plate, you won't. I know you're gonna put everything on there, but you won't put so much because it won't be able to fit on there. And it's okay to leave something on your plate. You don't have to eat everything on your plate. I know when we was young, our mama said, when we get up, you can't leave anything on your plate, but it's okay to leave something on your plate. Desserts. Whenever it's time to eat your desserts, share. You don't have to eat the whole dessert. I know you look at like, no, I want to eat it all. But no, you can share. You can share. Or if you don't want to share, eat half of it and save the other half for the next day. Everything is in moderation. Everything is portion control. And empty calories. Empty calories. You get empty calories from beverages.
Juice.
Yes.
Sodas.
During the holidays, we like to drink the sweet teas, and when I say sweet, we sweeten the teas up. The holiday
like tea
punches.
With your sugar?
Right. The holiday punches, instead of doing all your sugary drinks, drink water. I like to tell everybody I like to eat my calories instead of drink my calories.
Yeah.
Another thing with leftovers. Enjoy your leftovers by, making turkey salad. You can make turkey salad with your leftovers.
We do that a lot.
A turkey gumbo the next day. And the most important thing that I would like to say before we end this is food safety.
A lot of times on the holidays, the family's over, the food is prepared in the morning.
And
it sits
out
all day.
Exactly. It sits out all day.
I mean, we do that too. That's not good, right?
No, it's not. You have to be careful whenever you are preparing your meals. As long as your meals can sit out, and I know it might, it's going to sound crazy because you're going to say, well, we prepare meals, but we eat at, a certain time. But the longest, it should be 2 hours on, the counter.
And then put everything in the refrigerator.
Put everything in the refrigerator.
And let everybody...
But you have to make sure it's not hot, especially when you are preparing, because sometimes we do prepare gumbo.
Right.
At Christmas time.
Right.
If you are preparing gumbo, you're going to have to cool that big pot down. One way you can cool it down.
Break it down.
Cool it down. You can put it into different pots. At least, 3 different pots to cool it down. And that would be a quick way to cool it down before we put it in our refrigerator. Because if we put it in a refrigerator and it's still hot, you are at risk of dropping your temperature in your refrigerator. And our refrigerators should be 40 degrees or below.
I thought you was going to say at risk of it souring or something.
No.
Dropping the temperature in the refrigerator.
Yes, it will drop the temperature in a refrigerator. Yes. And then you're at risk of your other food items, developing food poisoning. Also, whenever you are preparing meals, whenever you are cutting vegetables, we have to use different cutting boards.
Right.
When you're preparing meats, use a separate cutting board for meats, a separate cutting board for your vegetables.
Right.
Making sure you're using different utensils. A lot of times we have that one spoon on the stove and we're using the same spoon. But that's important to use different utensils for different food items. Also, the way that you store your food items in a refrigerator is important. If you have raw meat, let's say you're preparing your Thanksgiving meals. If you have raw meat and you have to thaw it out, make sure you thaw it out at the lowest part of your refrigerator. Because if you thaw it out at the top part, then you are at risk of, some droppings. Yes, leaking on your foods. And then, of course, that puts you at risk of food poisoning. Thawing out meats. Let's talk about that. Turkey. Turkey is frozen solid. So if you want to season your turkey, you want to take it out at least 2 to 3 days before you season your turkey because you want to thaw it out in the refrigerator. If you
not in the sink.
Not in the sink. However, if you do have to thaw something out in the sink, you need to thaw it out under running water. Running water. It has to stay under running water the whole time. So even in a microwave, if you do thaw something out in the microwave, after you thaw it out, you have to immediately cook it. You can't put it back in the refrigerator. You have to cook it right then and there.
What if you thawed out some meat in the refrigerator and decided, I'm not going to have time to cook or don't want to cook this tonight, and put it back in the freezer? Can't do that.
Can't do it. Have to cook it. You can't refreeze.
Okay.
Yeah, no refreezing.
All right.
Leftovers.
Mm-hmm.
You can keep leftovers in the refrigerators up to 7 days. Up to 7 days. Yeah. So.
I think we covered just about everything, y'all.
Yeah, so
Just
be
about.
careful during the holiday season. Eat in moderation. Watch out for food safety whenever you are preparing, because that's when sometimes we develop food poisoning is during the holiday season, because we're leaving our food out. And, you know, when we prepare food, we don't think about how we prepare it, because, you know, sometimes we're rushing. So eat moderation, continue exercising, portion control, try to do some substitution, fat substitutions, and watch out for food safety.
And that, people, is how you have a healthful holiday season. Thank you so much, Shatonia McCarty. And we'll be getting back with you guys next week. I'm Gina Cook, and we're the People Station, 107 JAMZ.